This dude wanted to square up. You think I want to square up for $1?
Well, you're just standing there menacingly. I thought we had a problem.
I used to work at the subway in the Pentagon. You're probably wondering, Max, how did you get such a prestigious job? Alright, so I went to Quantico. I applied for an FBI job, and during the 18-week course, I gave up. Then I applied for the job at the Pentagon. I applied to run the snack bar inside the Pentagon. It turns out there were a lot of filled positions, and it turns out that the job they listed was filled 5 months ago, and they put it up as a joke or something. So I was asked if I could be a dishwasher. I decided to work there so I could at least put working at the Pentagon on my LinkedIn. I was the best dishwasher they had. But to be honest, after a while as a dishwasher, you want to hit everyone over the head with the trays. Ever heard the term dish dog? It's accurate. Work as a dishwasher and you'll feel like a dog. You don't have time to talk to anyone. It feels like everyone blames you for there not being clean dishes, even though they give you plates last minute, and they always throw stacks of dishes like they're practicing their Jenga skills. The gloves were too damn small for me, and all the time I was working there, they didn't get a bigger size even though they buy supplies every other week. They broke constantly, so I couldn't escape my hands becoming dried out. Dishwashing for a while fucks up your hands. Hot water is not your friend, but it's the only temperature that can clean dishes. Worst part is when they leave knives everywhere and then ask if you could wash specific things first. Even having the audacity of running it under the sink while you're still cleaning and then putting it on the dishwasher tray. They put it under for a millisecond, so it didn't even clean shit. Audacity without accomplishing anything. I threw that shit back out because I'm an overachiever and a perfectionist. I ignored them eventually, especially because they'd be doing stupid shit, thinking I don't mind them playing Jenga. As soon as they need something, they take a break from stacking stupid, and then think I'm gonna give them favoritism from changing their ways once. I'll get to it when I fucking get to it. Sometimes they try to be nice and dry the plates for me, but they did it half-assed to the point I wish they didn't. Manager came out being mad that dishes were put away wet, talking about how health inspectors are no joke in the Pentagon. We could be court-martialed for getting these people sick. Like it's my fault they prefer being fast than doing things well. It wasn't even the only health violation in the back either. If they cared so much, they'd look around. Nobody cleaned anything, not that they had the time, we were always short-staffed. At a certain point, I decided to quit. My hands stiffening up and being clammy was not worth the $15 an hour. They already paid for half my work shoes and the background check, so the manager offered me a stalker job, which was basically everything I was already doing but not having my hands under hot water. So I was just doing that for a while, stocking items in the food court and cleaning tables with disinfectant. Eventually I got kind of bored, trying to search for things to do before they assigned me to do something I didn't want to do. Management doesn't actually care, they just want to justify their role. How else are they supposed to justify sitting in the office doing nothing? But it was getting too obvious, so I asked if I could be a cashier. Soon after, I actually did become a cashier. Now I'm not gonna lie to you, I was fucking up a lot in the beginning. Lost nickels add up, dollar bills cling on to each other, and there's always people trying to finesse you. Who knew the Pentagon was filled with shady people? Sometimes I recorded a transaction on debit instead of cash, so one came back too high and the other too low. It didn't matter too much because we were required to keep all receipts. If we didn't print the last transaction, we were out of luck. Because for some reason, none of the military budget went to the POS machine. We were unable to print any cash receipt before the last transaction. We could print card receipts though. I made my own system. I stacked new receipts under my POS machine, and then when I had time, I stacked them within a paper clip, rubber band, or a binder clip. After that, I put them in my red bag labeled cash bag. Remember that, it's important later. Eventually, I figured it out and I became the fastest one on the line. I was so good that customers actually gave me tips, which I wasn't supposed to keep for some reason. And if you're my manager from the Pentagon, I gave it back and explained the situation. Because people are famous for sticking around to listen to the employees and not leaving quickly. Manager also had this dumbass policy to force receipts onto people, because people kept stealing and not lining up at the registers. This problem could be fixed by putting more cashiers on the register to move the line quicker, so the thieves feel like they couldn't get away with it. The ones with shame, I mean. But no, we believed in keeping the lines long. Also, the manager wanted us to keep things stocked even with the lines running. The supervisors only went out and took the card-only registers when they couldn't justify standing there looking stupid. Because imagine this whole ass line and you're over there just standing in the corner. If management wasn't bad enough, some of these customers were dumb as fuck. I had this one dude trying to pay with a bag of lunch. A whole Panda Express 2 entree plate with a bag of lunch. I think it was a tamale or a burrito from home. This dude legit thought we took trades like this is a GameStop. First of all, that shady ass burrito is what we'd give you for a 2 entree plate if this was a GameStop, not the other way around.
Come on, man. I waited in that long line to see if I can pay with this burrito.
We take cash, card, or military ID books. Real quick, military ID has cash preloaded in it. People usually got the cash if they rented a room in the Pentagon campus. Each room had a meal plan that gave you a certain amount. Back to this dumbass.
Dude, this burrito right here is outside food that my mom made. When's the last time you got the chance to try that?
I work at the Pentagon. I don't live here. Then, without saying a word, he reaches for my cash bag. Dude, that just has receipts in it.
No, it's mine. I can pay.
This dumbass opens it up and sees I wasn't lying, and he throws it back on the counter. My supervisor, Hannah, comes over and asks what's wrong.
What's going on? What seems to be the issue?
I told her this dude doesn't have money. He tries to give her the Ziploc burrito too. Almost word for word, she says the same thing I said. Then this bitch just pays for his meal out of her own pocket. $10.50, I think. I never saw burrito dude again. Another time, this douchebag came over and tried to square up for a refill. I saw him fill up his soda and waved him over because I wasn't in a spot with clear visibility. He got offended that I was waving at him.
What? This is just a refill.
Yeah, I'm still supposed to charge you for that. Usually I didn't care. The only time I did was when these bitch-ass customers made a big show over getting a refill. This dude wanted to square up. You think I want to square up for $1?
Well, you're just standing there menacingly. I thought we had a problem.
I could probably have taken him, but I'm not losing a job over $1 that ain't even mine. And he looked like the type who'd take me to court if he lost, you know? He was one of those people. We had a little poster, a letter-sized printed page of what the customers could pay with. No one read that shit, and it was a problem. I remember this one time an Army General got a chicken bacon ranch Subway sandwich. I remember the sandwich because he added a lot and made sure to list all the ingredients. He was like,
I just got a chicken bacon ranch with Italian herbs and cheese, toasted provolone, lettuce, tomato, red onions, green peppers, peppercorn ranch, regular mayo, black pepper, salt, and this time I added teriyaki sauce just to be different. But I also added more mayo because of that. I don't know if you have to charge me extra.
I only do that if you got avocado or fresh mozzarella.
By the way, do you guys take EBT?
EBT? Don't you work at the Pentagon? I thought they paid a lot.
You think a government job pays a lot?
What about the military spending increase?
My paycheck is the same. I bet yours went up after the $20 an hour, huh?
Actually, no, it stayed the same. Turns out that only affected standalone restaurants, not food places in malls and schools and stuff. And apparently the Pentagon.
So, do you take EBT?
He handed me his card. Everett Johnson. No, we don't.
Damn. Let me pull out my credit card then.
I tap to pay with his card and then look at the name. Willie Mays. I look back at him. I thought your name was Everett.
Don't snitch, young man. What happens in the Pentagon stays in the Pentagon.
He then slipped me $20, which I definitely gave back as it is against protocol. And I definitely told my manager about the stolen identity. And I definitely told you his real name. Anyway, not all of the customers were bad. I chatted with a lot of them. Some of them even flirted with me. A lot of the customers lined up at my line regardless of other cashiers actually being available because I was fast. My friend John always only got a coffee. I think he was on a diet or something. And whenever my supervisor wasn't in front of me doing nothing, I might have charged him for a refill on accident occasionally, who's to say. I asked him how life was like working at the Pentagon and if he still kept in contact with the Quantico squad. We went to Quantico together.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Working hard or hardly working at the Pentagon. Taxpayer dollars at work.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember a lot of what he said, but it was probably something like that. The worst dude though was this one dude with some SpongeBob merch. He got a ton of food and then showed up to the register and gave me his military ID. I rang it up and it said it was marked lost or stolen. I looked at the ID and then at him, and it was the same guy. The guy behind him got tired and offered to just pay for him. Unfortunately, this small act of kindness, actually no, it was actually a lot of money. Unfortunately, this act of big kindness marked the beginning of the SpongeBob merch guy saga that you'll have to watch next time. If this video gets a lot of likes and comments, I'll make a follow-up video with it. But until then, like and subscribe.